Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Play MechWarrriorOnline. This is your host Demolish, and since last time a lot has changed in the game. Well, a few things have changed. As you can see here at the bottom right portion of the screen, there's been a patch introducing 12 versus 12. So every team has 4 new extra players compared to last time, and the carnage is a lot bigger, I must say. Most of the smaller maps don't take 12 versus 12 very well, I must say. There's lots of congestion, for lack of a better term. There's lots of traffic jams. We also got 4 new trial mechs, and as you can see it says XP times 2, because every mech you own, including trial mechs I might add, get a double experience bonus for their first win of the day. If you're familiar with games like World of Tanks or such that had that already, well, MechWarrriorOnline has that now too. The trial mechs are out. Take mech labs to see more information. 2 medium lasers, large laser SRM6, runs at 81 kilometers per hour. I must say that's quite slow for a light, and now I'll show you why, because this is the medium, a cicada, weighs 40 tons, only 5 tons more than his Raven, but it actually does over 30 kilometers more than the Raven. Its armament is a bit lighter. It has 2 machine guns with 1 ton of ammo, I checked earlier, and a single PPC. It has 11 heat sinks and a 280 engine. Engine obviously gives it the speed. I might add this is a standard engine, which is quite an oddity for most player-made cicadas, as they tend to put XL engines in there for more weaponry and higher speeds. 113 kilometers per hour is still very decent, and the PPC is a very good sniping weapon, and the machine guns are actually very good in this. Until recently they were pretty much kind of a waste of space, but now they're very good. So I'm keen to try this one. The heavy is the Catapult A1. Guns have 2 LRM-15s, 4 streaks. I checked, and the streak launchers have 2 tons of ammo. LRM-15s have 5 tons of ammo. For 2 LRM-15s, that's not a great bunch, but still a great mech. 10 double heatsinks, I might add, double, so it's very heat efficient. Sadly no jump yet, so you can jump up on terrain or add mobility. Standard 280 and a big active probe, which means you're somewhat efficient at hunting light mechs, but sadly the streak launchers, which would be your main weapon to hunt lights with, are, how do I say this politely, not very good. They hit random parts of a mech, so it's very hard to take down a target quickly, and these weapons are more or less made to hunt lights, and well, they still track them, and with the big active probe you can deactivate ECM, which stops jamming. It's not a great mech for hunting lights, sadly. It used to be incredible, now it's meh. And the trial assault this time over is the Victor with SRM4, 2 mini pulse lasers and a Gauss rifle. I think the missiles have 1 ton of ammo, Gauss rifle 2, so it's very light on ammo. At the start when you still have ammo, it has a decent punch. Aside from the Gauss, it's all short range though, and 2 mini pulse lasers run very hot. You have 15 single heat sinks, 4 jump jets, standard 320, and 2 cases, so at least you won't be dying from ammo explosions. At the top left portion of the screen, you see it has a speed of 64.8, which actually for a assault is quite fast. Don't think I've seen any other assault mech that can run that speed. Maybe the Highlander, I don't know. And small exceptions aside, like 1 or 2 of the awesome variants have higher speed capabilities, but that aside, 64.8 is very fast. If you add 10% on top of that, you can over 70, and this is a stock variant. That's very good. One thing I forgot to mention is that this Catapult has, between the dashes, you see a C. Not quite sure what it stands for. I think community. But that basically means that it's been made by fellow players on the MechWarrior forums. Most of the times where you see a C, In the trial mech, that means it's slightly better than the other trial alternatives. Last week it was the Atlas, which was a very good build, I might add. It's also nice to add that PGI, the company that makes that runs MechWarrriorOnline, often allows you to buy this variant more or less out of the box, for lack of a better term, including all these upgrades. As you can see, it has endosteel, ferrofibers, double heatsinks, so most of the times it would take you about 3 million to upgrade a normal A1 Catapult. But as far as I know, you can only buy them with MCs, which is real life currency only. But they do gain more experience than normal. That's what the C stands for, it's a trait they have. That's it, I'm going to the testing ground. Let's see, Forest Colony. You have the Raven, and I'll be giving some tips about movement and explaining some of the mechanics behind the game. Some random tooltips here. Report abuser behavior. Yeah. Stuff everyone should or does know normally. Don't think I can skip it, eh? No, I can't. Sadly. Yeah, the startup sequence. You might notice that the sound issue has been resolved. Took me a while to find it, but it's finally gone. Alright. Let me start by moving forward. Pressing the W key. Well, since I do not have throttle decay activated, I keep my speed, and by holding it down, I can go to the. I continue to speed up until I've reached my maximum speed. If I press the S for snail, and I go past the 0 mark, I actually go backwards. If I press X for Xavier, I actually do a full stop. If I press Alpha, I turn left. If I press Delta, I turn right. I use the mouse for looking around, and because I have deactivated the arm lock, you can see I have actually 2 crosshairs. One has 4 dashes, and one is a circle. The circle one is where all my arms shoot at. If you look at the right bottom of the screen, you can actually see the weapons are categorized by which ones are in the arms and which ones aren't. For example, right mouse button will fire my lasers, which are arm mounted. If I press the left mouse button, which will fire group 1, that's torso mounted, it will fire at the dashes. Now, I just pressed Charlie, so whenever I want my torso to align with my feet, I press Charlie. It also makes sure that my vision is leveled, that I'm basically staring at the horizon. It doesn't really matter in what direction you're walking or what you're doing. If you press Charlie, your feet and your torso align. Very useful trait when you need to have a clue of where the hell you're going. Pardon my French. If I press X again, I do a full stop, and you might notice I targeted this mech. I did not press any buttons, but when you have no target and you hold your cursor over an enemy, you automatically target them. However, you only do this for your first target, or until this one dies. For example, if we would quickly kill this one, there we go, down goes the commando, poor guy, good move, we never knew his name, poor guy. And there we see our next target. And we hold the cursor over it and he automatically targets it. However, if I see a target in distance and I quickly want to know what it is, I can press Q. And considering no one has targeted him yet, I don't know what it is. So if I hold my cursor over him and press R,
no target acquired.
I actually target him. You might notice that the triangle above his head becomes filled. When you see a triangle that is not filled, like Bravo to my left here, that one, he is not targeted, so I cannot see his information, only that he's 242 meters away from me. Now Charlie over there is a stock A1. And as you might see, he has 2 LRM-15s and nothing else. No, that was a short introduction about hotkeys. I only have one part that I want to explain, and that is weapon groups. It's very easy. but it's nowhere explained, and most people have a hard time finding it on the forum, especially considering there's so many negative people and spamming the forums with hate posts and whatnot. Basically, the arrow keys on your keyboard, you can move left and right. Well, obviously, with right control you can select or deselect a group. Group number 2 is always tied to your right mouse key. I'm not quite sure if... no, it's only group 2. And group number 1 is no, I don't think there's anything special with it. Not entirely sure. But for example, if I want to have my 2 medium lasers on my oh right, I do remember what the... for example here, I want to fire my large laser. Well, it's in group number 2. That means I have to press the right mouse button, and if I want to fire my medium lasers, I have to, in this case, press the left mouse button, because the left mouse button fires whatever group you have selected. For example, if I press right 2 times, I'd select my SRAM 6. If I then press the left mouse button, I fire my missiles. If you have a mouse key which has several buttons key to it, for example, I have a Logitech mouse which has 4 buttons tied to it, and I actually have 2 thumb keys. And my closest key closest to my palm of my hand is tied to my group 3, and still my left button and my right mouse button still do the same. Normally I would actually change these ones up, considering my large lasers are located on the left side of my mech. The medium lasers are located on the right side of my mech. And the thumb buttons I generally put groups which I use a lot less than my other groups. Something also noteworthy to notice is that at the right bottom of the screen you see range of your weapons. For medium lasers, in this case, that's 270 meters. Large laser 450, SRAM 6 270 meters. For laser-based weapons, you can actually do damage greater than the listed range that you see on there. This is double the listed range. So medium lasers would still be able to damage upwards of 540 meters, but every portion that you go beyond the 270 meters, you will do reduced damage. Now, as you can see, the large laser does 450 meters. That's a lot more, and you have a far greater range punch. You can actually do upwards of 900 meters range damage. You also have ER versions of the large laser currently. In the game, ER stands for extended range. ER medium lasers also exist, but they are based on clan tech, and that is, well, to keep a long story short, not yet in the game. For missiles, the story is, however, completely different. If I fire my missiles, let's see if I can find a spot that's 300 meters or so away. Yes. Okay, I fire my missiles. You might notice they actually blew up before they reached those rocks. This is because missiles actually blow up the moment they reach their noted distance. For long-range missiles or LRAMs, this is 1000 meters, and as you can see, for SRAMs or short-range missiles, this is 270 meters. So in the mech combat, 270 meters is really short. It's more or less to standing a couple of meters or feet away from someone. It's generally not a very safe place to be, as you can see here. And actually for LRAMs it's even more dangerous, because they have a minimum range of 180 meters. If I would be standing here, this mech would not be able to hurt me.
New target acquired.
What else we have? Something that I might... I think that's enough for now. I'll quickly throw in one match, maybe 2, and then call it a day again. Alright, it should still have my, yes, Raven. No, I'm a sucker for light and medium mechs, so I'm gonna drop in the Raven. That way you can also somewhat see the difference between the Commando and the Raven. Commando was able to, last match that I played was in River City. I was able to duck between buildings left and right and able to avoid, well, total destruction for lack of a better term. Did take moderate damage. Well, did not do much damage. I was able to aid my team and be a general nuisance, which let's excel at incredibly. Especially when player made with a gigantic engine. These guys are very annoying to take down. And I'm the one who plays one. So I wish everyone good luck and have fun. Be a sporting fellow, like I want to do. Oh. And let's see, spider time. Oh, I forgot to take a look at what my teammates are doing. But in considering I'm in a trial mech open conquest actually. Goodie. Same like last time. This time, however, I'll be stationing myself in the cave. I have some nice graphical glitches here that I've been having for months now and can't seem to get rid of. Damn shame. Jägermax, Quick Draw, K2, Catapult. We don't got all that many assaults, but we got a nice heavy team. And the lens I'm in actually has 3 lights and a cicada. Go figure. What a coincidence. So I'm gonna watch cave. A lot of people in normal assault matches use cave to outflank. At the very least I want to ensure that my teammates are not getting there blown up. In the bottom middle of the screen you can see that there's an arrow. There's an arrow pointed well in that direction. That's basically where my feet are pointing at. That's another way to know how you are standing. You can see I can fire this way and walk in, flee in the opposite direction when I need to. Also nice to add, you can also use the numpad. For example, to if I want to move at 10%, I press the 1. If I want to move at 50%, I press the 5. If I want to move at 100, I press 0. That's a quick way in which you can increase throttle. It can be very useful at times. For example, if I see a target in here and I have to absolutely positively lag it right now, I press up 0. And while this mech is slow, because I have no pilot experience and a tiny engine, it would still be the fastest way to get out of here. Oh, no one has... oh, just when I say it, a wild spider appears. Quickly report to my team that there's a spider here, and he's off. He's probably going to try and capture Gamma. Well, I'm at the very least going to try and stop him. As you can see, he only has 2 medium lasers, so armaments wise he's not all that dangerous for me. Well, compared to my weapon loadout, I'm a lot more dangerous to him. And if he's going to capture Gamma, if I stand in the capture area to actually prevent him from capturing anything. So I'll be able to prevent him and damage him at the same time, which is what I'm going to do. If he will stay put, that is. No, he will not. He's being a sensible guy. What a shame. Some lasers in his back. I'll show you to try and capture my base. Shoot! So at the end I've got rolled up newspapers, so lasers and missiles will have to do. And he's off again. He's in a hurry. Okay. Not sure if that hit him, don't think so. You know, I was trying to capture an Epsilon, or no, he's just being a nuisance, like a good light pilot does. Very good. I'm actually going to cut off the video here, because it's starting to be very long, and I'll make a part 2 for this.